You are what you hate. You have become the New York Yankees.
I've been saying for over a year now that this desire for crossover fandom is the main idea of TKO Group. It's why I started this channel. I knew this was coming. Many MMA fans believed Dana White when he said it would be kept separate. But if it was, what would be the point of merging the companies?
Perfect.
It isn't lost on me that many MMA fans are not pro wrestling fans. I do believe there are more fans of pro wrestling that enjoy MMA, but not so many MMA fans such as myself that enjoy pro wrestling. On the surface, this special video from the UFC for 300 will come across to the internet audience as a joke. Some UFC fans will probably comment, and have commented by the way, you can go view it for yourself, things like, who cares, and I can't believe WWE superstars / wrestlers are on the UFC channel, and things like, I am sick of the TKO crossover mood. This is mind-blowing to me, because I feel like I'm the only one that speaks out against other forms of terrible crossover that, in my opinion, are far worse. Sneeko, our beloved Nina Drama, Neon, Nelk Boys, etc., in my view, are what needs to be toned down. Influencers at every opportunity asking fighters to spar, or get a leg kick, or make a full video of learning a move. These things to me are just corny and uninteresting. Some are even embarrassing. But here we have 3 people who have actually fought in MMA, and we have a super athlete in Big E who has had more serious physical injuries than 95% of the people groaning that he is in the video with them. What the 4 of them currently do is forever tied to MMA, especially the UFC. Namely the UFC. This is the fundamental reason as to why the companies merged in the first place. Just because they are pro wrestlers doesn't mean they can't be fans or have decent to good takes. If you are going to call Nina Drama a journalist,
hit me like a head kick from Anthony Pettis.
or watch her and Laura Sanko frolic about in provocative positions. If you are going to watch video after video of Sneeko and Sean Strickland play around, if you are going to watch John Jones leg kick every influencer that asks him, but not even as much as face off with Tom Aspinall, then what is the problem with this special 300 video from UFC/TKO? Sure, this could be an ongoing thing from here on out, but again, they're one company. And if it bothers you that much, just treat it like KFC, Pizza Hut. You know those little restaurants they have? You got the KFC/Pizza Hut. So one night you're really stoned off your ass and you get like a 3-piece as well as one of the little personal pan cheese pizzas. Easy sauce. Mountain Dew, you know, go back to play Halo. Anyway,
Perfect.
I'm not trying to change anyone's mind about how they feel for pro wrestling or WWE. But for me, it's not as big of a deal as other things that dilute the UFC product. Like what you like. I grew up a wrestling fan. I'll be a wrestling fan my entire life. I grew up being a fan of martial arts. I will be a fan of martial arts my entire life. That's just what it is. But anyway, if you sit and listen to them, they don't do half bad. CM Punk seems to still be very much a fan of MMA. And him getting to fight twice and lose both times in the UFC doesn't affect that, or my opinion of his fandom. Punk is right that probably a third of people in pro wrestling would have done MMA instead if it were a viable option at the time. And to be clear, he didn't say a third, but that's my guess. Bobby Lashley even wore the UFC 300 gold for this, and his record in MMA is actually 15-2. Now, regardless of the names he competed against, he does have some prestige in the MMA world. More so than me or anyone commenting against his appearance on here, right? Them eyebrows on fleek, I get that. But what is anyone gonna do about it? Dude is a freak athlete on the level of Brock Lesnar in his mid-40s, looking like a God of War titan. My only gripe with him though is saying Bo Nichols. Now, he may have misspoke or just kind of rolled off the tongue, or maybe he doesn't know and he said Bo Nichols. Here in Albuquerque, so many people try to profess that they love hometown hero Holly Holmes. Big E is one of the best celebrity athletes out there. MMA fans may not care about him in general, but a lot of other people do. Kids look up to him. He was nearly paralyzed in a freak accident in a match and hasn't been active since. This was like 2-3 years ago. The dude has earned a few stripes, worked alongside Punk and, Dolph Ziggler and Punk's wife. Currently, AJ Lee has a bodyguard, came out and started being on the New Day and became champion for a while, got injured, and that's where we're at. We're still waiting for his return. Then of course there is Shayna Baszler. And I do not give a fuck what anyone says. Shayna Baszler is one of my favorite fighters from MMA and favorite wrestlers from NXT/WWE. Shayna is one of few that completely gets all levels of being in the fight game. She truly is. She's just never given that chance to get shot to the moon. Hopefully it happens in WWE like it did in NXT. We'll see. I have said since Shayna lost to Betch Kohea that she deserved more for her efforts. And I'm happy for her that she is getting some additional work because they're not doing much with her right now on the roster. Now, I don't know the guy that is spearheading this round table, but that's okay. Because he doesn't have a fucking clue who Shayna Baszler is, and has never read aloud or heard Amanda Nunes's name.
WrestleMania with this crowd right into UFC 300. So we have gathered WWE superstars connected to MMA. CM Punk, of course, a couple fights in UFC. Shayna fought Amanda Nunes, UFC fighter. Bobby, it goes without saying, your history in the sport of MMA.
I done waited long enough. I done sat back long enough, nigga. Trolling this shit, bro. This shit ain't no fucking game.
I am speechless. Dude, all credit to this guy, but I would have killed this round table with these 4 people. This dude completely dismissed Shayna Baszler with his 40 pages of notes. The only reference he has of her is that she fought Amanda Nunes. He also says you guys are impressive with your fight IQs. I mean, dude, this would have been a lot cooler if it were like Forrest Griffin hosting or something along those lines. I feel confident in saying I'm one of very few people that know all 4 of these athletes' career as a whole to where I could have been in a flow state with them doing this round table. Why do I say that? Because if I feel that confident, then the ball was dropped with the host. Maybe it's his first time, maybe he was nervous, but it's on the UFC channel. And if we're going to cross over on the channel, then make it as solid as possible so fans that are hesitant and or reluctant to accept even a take from a pro wrestler or female not named Nina, Laura, or Megan can have something a little more positive to bite on or latch on to. If I were in charge of this, I would have made it 6 people for the round table. Make Forrest Griffin the lead and put George St. Pierre or even Ronda Rousey alongside Shayna. Why not? It would have fit perfect. Now, TKO Group, when are we getting the Nina drama face-off with Pokimane?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.